Okay, we're going to start with some vocabulary then. So first of all, we have um, this term, which is wrongly directed or pointed. So what is the word that we need to use here? What do we mean by wrongly directed or pointed? So is it misdirected, obstruct, glare, or sustainable?
Glare.
It's not glare, I'm afraid. Let's try taking two of them away. So is it misdirected or obstruct? What do you think the answer?
Misdirected.
Misdirected is right. Yep, well done. So when something is pointing in the wrong place, misdirected. Let's try the next one. So this time you have in a harmful or negative way. So we've got sustainable, habits, hormones, or adversely. So when something is done in a harmful or negative way,
I think it's adversely.
adversely is right. Adversely. Very good. So when something is done adversely, it's done in a bad way, in a negative way, a dangerous way, or a harmful way. Now, next one, able to be maintained or continued at a certain rate or level. So this is when we can keep doing something for a long time.
I think it's sustainable.
Sustainable is right. Well done. Sustainable. If something is sustainable, we can keep doing it for a very long time. Very good. All right, well done. Quick bonus round now. So we just have to pick the correct card, or one card. Okay, so should we pick card A, card B, card C, card D, or card E?
Card B.
Card B. Oh, unfortunately, that was one of the bad ones. Minus 50 points there. Card B. Okay. It's okay. I'm sure we can make the points back. No problem. Okay. So now we have made or produced by human beings rather than occurring naturally, typically as a copy of something natural. So what adjective is used to describe something that is made by humans and may look or copy something that exists naturally?
Ecological.
It is not ecological. Um, it's not ecological. It's something that is created by human beings, kind of like when you have grass and it's made from plastic, the fake grass that you can get. Well, the proper term for that is something grass. So what do we think?
Artificial.
Artificial is right. Well done. Artificial grass or anything that is artificial is made by humans. So we're in this lesson, we're learning about light pollution. So we're learning about artificial light. So light from light bulbs and cars and trains and things like that. Next, we have the behavior of an animal or person in response to a certain stimuli or circumstance. So this is basically what animals and humans do regularly.
Habits.
Habits is right. Very good. So we're talking about habits. Fantastic. Question 6. So next we have the act of interrupting something or preventing it from continuing as usual. So when you interrupt something, you get in its way stop it from proceeding as usual, maybe stop it altogether.
Um, does it disruption?
Disruption is the act of, yes, interfering with something or interrupting something. Well done. And we had a very similar word to choose from there, which was obstruct, which is a verb rather than a noun. Right, so let's see. Can we get one of the green ones? So just try to avoid the red one. So we've got A, B, C, D, or E.
I choose E.
200 points. Okay, so we got our points back from before. That's great. Okay. Question 7. The degree to which something can be seen or be made visible. So we're talking about the ability to see things, the description of how well something can be seen or how well something sees. What do you think?
Visibility.
Visibility. Very good. So visibility is a noun describing something, well, the rate at which something can be seen or something can see. Causing or likely to cause harm or danger or damage.
Harmful.
Harmful. Very good. Great job. Okay. Doing well so far. Well done. Next, we have question 9. So this is, well, these are chemical substances produced in the body that regulate bodily functions and behaviors. So we're talking about things like estrogen, testosterone, serotonin, um, dopamine,
Um,
cortisol.
sustainable.
No, sustainable is something that we can continue doing for a very long time. These are chemicals in our body, in our brain.
And hormones.
Hormones, well done. So our hormones, make us happy, sad, angry, or whatever else. Very good. All right, doing well so far. Another bonus round now. Okay, so A, B, C, D, or E.
I choose B.
B, okay. We got 200 points bonus there. Very good. So this is relating to the natural environment and its relationships with organisms and their surroundings. So this is an adjective to describe the environment, nature, animals, trees, plants, rivers, lakes, and streams, and how they all work
Ecological.
Ecological is right. Well done. Next one. This is to cause someone to lose their sense of direction, position, or confidence. So when somebody gets lost or unsure where to go, what to do, This is the verb to describe that.
Disorient.
Disorient. Yeah, very
Disorient.
good. Disorient. Fantastic. Good job, doing really well. All right, very good. Next we have question 12. This is strong, dazzling light that reflects off a surface, like a window or metal.
Glare.
Glare, well done. So we're talking about glare. Glare can be quite blinding, or it can make it, if you're driving down the road and someone has some glare, you know, if you get disoriented by the glare from from some light, it can be very dangerous because it can mean that you can't see. All right, so now we have A, B, C, D, or E.
I choose C.
C, very good. Okay. This is the extra time lifeline, so we can use that if we run out of time. Okay, question 13. To block or prevent something from moving or progressing. So we have a verb now.
Um, I think it's obstruct.
Obstruct. Very good. And make sure we say the T at the end. Obstruct. Fantastic. Doing really well. Obstruct. And then question 14. To make less severe, less serious, or less painful. To make something not as bad as it could be.
Misdirected.
Not misdirected. I'm going to double the score on this one. It's not misdirected. This is a verb where we do something to make the damage less bad. So a seat belt in a car won't stop the car from crashing, but it will certainly reduce the potential damage that can be done. What do you think?
I think is habit.
It's not habits. So we want to reduce damage. It's not misdirected, not habits.
Teacher, I choose misdirected before.
You did, yes. The
How
word
about
is
meeting?
mitigate, mitigate. So when we mitigate the damage, we reduce the damage. So for example, if you wear a helmet on your bike, it mitigates the damage that can be done to your head. It doesn't mean that you will definitely not be hurt if you crash your bike, but it will mitigate the damage. It will reduce the likelihood of damage. Okay? Right. Okay, so we've done some vocabulary. We're going to watch the video about light pollution, okay? So I want you to subtitles as they go along. And we're going to talk about the problems of light pollution, what causes those problems, and the potential solutions to those problems too. So let's watch IELTS master course.
Growing
Put the video
concern
on now.
that is affecting our environment in a variety of ways. Light pollution is the excessive or misdirected artificial lighting that disturbs the natural environment and adversely affects wildlife, human health, and the economy. Understanding the causes and effects of light pollution is important to safeguard our environment and ensure a sustainable future. One of the primary sources of light pollution is artificial light used in cities and towns, including streetlights, commercial buildings, and residential homes. These sources create bright, artificial lighting that washes out the natural darkness of the night sky. This can impact natural habits, cause sleep disruption and health issues, and affects the visibility of stars and constellations. Another significant source of light pollution is the amber-coloured streetlights that have been in use for decades, but are gradually being replaced by brighter white lights. These white streetlights emit a lot of blue light, which is particularly harmful to humans and animals, as it disrupts natural sleep patterns and affects the hormones that regulate our sleep cycles. This light pollutes our environment, including water, air and soil, leading to several health problems such as depression, anxiety and insomnia. Light pollution also has a significant ecological impact on plants and animals, altering natural behaviours and migration patterns. Birds and insects rely on darkness to navigate, and bright lights can disorient them, causing confusion and even death. Sea turtles are particularly affected by light pollution. They instinctively follow the reflection of the moon on the water, which leads them away from the sea and towards city lights, where they often perish. Light pollution also impacts astronomy, making it difficult to observe stars and galaxies from within our cities. Artificial lights, such as commercial advertising displays, also create glare and obstruct our view of the night sky, making it difficult to appreciate and understand the universe we live in. To help mitigate the effects of light pollution, several solutions can be implemented. For instance, switching to amber-coloured bulbs instead of brighter white lights, or installing light fixtures that emit downward-facing light instead of bright upward-facing light. Additionally, shielding lights to direct light downward can also reduce the effects of light pollution. In conclusion, light pollution is a significant and growing problem, affecting our environment in many ways. We need to take action by raising awareness about how light pollution affects wildlife, human health, and the economy. Through education and implementation of practical solutions, we can reduce the impacts of light pollution and work towards a more sustainable future.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to just close that down. What we're going to do is we're going to look at a basic simple game here where we're going to put the problems, causes and solutions, causes, effects and solutions into the right category. So we've got educate others, poor planning, overpopulation, animal endangered, light shields, and air pollution. So let's start with causes. Can anyone tell me which one of these is a cause related to light pollution?
Um, air, teacher, air pollution with causes or effects?
Air pollution would probably be an effect of something, wouldn't it? Same as light pollution is an effect, which is caused by artificial light. But more specifically, what is it that leads to us having lights all over the city in places where they might be harming human health or harming animal migration patterns, harming animal feeding patterns, and generally doing damage to the environment? So let's start with a cause. Which one of these is a cause of something?
I think it's animal endangered.
No. So when an animal is endangered, that's actually the result of a cause. So animals becoming endangered is an effect. So first we have a cause that makes an effect happen. Yeah. So let's try to find a cause.
Paralysis.
Overpopulation.
Overpopulation is definitely a cause of many problems. Too many people in a small area. So 50% of the world live in cities, and cities compared to the rest of the world are reasonably small. So when we have lots and lots of people in a city, it's called overpopulation. So that is a cause. Now, what sort of effect comes from overpopulation? What problems?
Um, Poor planning.
No, poor planning is not an effect of overpopulation. Um,
Lifestyle.
no. So think about it, guys. I don't want you to just guess. Think about it, okay? Think about it carefully. We have the cause. This is something that makes something happen. The effect, what actually happens, and a solution. How can we stop it from happening? So,
Air pollution.
okay, air pollution can be an effect of overpopulation. Yeah, absolutely. What is a solution to air pollution? How can we stop so much air being polluted by cars, motorbikes, lorries, trucks? So we have too many people driving too many cars, which is causing too much air pollution. What is one way we could try to stop that or slow it down? How could we mitigate that problem?
Educate.
Education of the other.
Educate others. Yeah. So if we educate people on some of the environmental damage that each individual person can cause, then we can reduce the effects of air pollution as a result of overpopulation. Now, next we have this one is directly related to light pollution. So this is air pollution, of course, but light pollution is another problem we have in cities. Okay. What is maybe one of the causes?
Lysis.
No,
Poor planning.
poor planning, right? So when we talk about poor planning, we mean that when people built the city, they didn't think about where the light would need to be or what it could do to the animals, what effect it could have on animals. So if someone puts very bright white lights in a place where there are animals, so for example, in a park or near some woods, near the forest, what we can end up with is animals that don't sleep properly, animals that don't migrate properly, animals that don't feed properly, animals that don't reproduce properly. And consequently, their numbers dwindle and the animals become endangered. So what is one way that we can take those overly bright lights
Teacher.
and make them, let me finish, take those overly bright lights and make them less damaging in the area in which they're placed? What's a solution to this? There's one thing on there. It's light shields. So a light shield will stop some of that light from being shone onto places where it shouldn't be. So when we have the lights that face downwards, just down onto the area they need to light up, then it helps to mitigate the damage from the problem. Okay. What were you going to say? Sorry.
I think poor planning is in the causes and effects is overpopulation and solutions is educate others.
Well, what we're looking at is the cause is what the thing in the beginning that led
Because
to
I think that a country has poor planning, that they um
poor planning is okay. So many cities, many big cities around the world, they're not new. Many of them are hundreds or thousands of years old. And because of this, nobody really planned how the city would look. Nobody really knew how things would develop. And so basically, lots of cities just kind of developed over time, over hundreds of years or thousands of years. And for much of their history, they haven't had electricity or lighting and things like that. So they haven't really known how, what parts of the city would need to be illuminated and how they would do that and what effect that might have on nature. So essentially, a lot of it is just simply not knowing how these lights that have relatively recently been introduced into cities, only in the last 100 years or so, have been introduced into cities, artificial lights, how that would affect animals and the ecology. So poor planning is definitely a cause. And another cause of pollution generally is overpopulation because we have lots of people in a small area. So guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the whiteboard, okay? And we've got some problems, causes, and solutions. Now, if I want you to send you this link, and I want you guys to just open this up, and I want you to think of potential solutions to these problems. So we have problem one here, which is that people cannot sleep properly. Problem two, animal migration, feeding, and sleeping patterns get confused. Problem number three, light pollution can make it difficult to watch the night sky and conduct astronomical research. And problem four, light pollution can result in significant energy waste and economic losses. Now, what we want to do is we want to think of solutions to these problems. Now, think of something that can mitigate the damage, reduce the damage, or solve it entirely. Now, if you look at the causes here, we can see people cannot sleep properly. So one problem is from prolonged exposure to blue light. Now, that comes from, smartphones, computers, and televisions, but it also comes from outdoor lighting, street lights, spotlights, garden lights, those kinds of things. And that can make it very difficult for people to sleep.